Alright, there's gonna be some spoilers in this video, so just letting you guys know, it's not gonna be any story related spoilers or anything like that, but just some, stuff that's a little bit spoiler territory. Alright, anyway, you've been warned. Hello everybody, my name is Dutchy, welcome to the channel, and let's get right into this video. So in today's video, it's going to be all about the strongest armor sets you can get in God of War. Now obviously there's also other armor sets for other different types of playstyles. This one is all about DPS and getting as much damage out there as possible, not tanking. All the tanking that I need is basically all in my stone wall shield. Now the armor we're talking about, by the way, is called the Berserker armor. Now the main thing we want to focus on is the chest piece of the Berserker armor, which basically allows you to deal extra damage every single time you use a relic. Now the description for this armor says, using a relic massively increases the damage of Kratos' melee attacks, but also the damage received for duration. Now the time is around about 17 seconds from when the timer actually starts, and also the increase in damage is very, very big, but also the increase in damage received is actually quite big too, so you can actually go down in 1 or 2 shots if you're fighting certain bosses. So I'm going to show you guys 2 clips quickly. The first one does not have the Berserker armor activated. As you can see, it does okay damage. I mean, these guys are pretty over leveled, but it does some damage. And this is it with the Berserker armor active. Now, as you can see, there is quite a big difference in this. Also, in the first clip, I actually tried to use one of my special abilities to get as much damage out as possible, but in the second clip, I just attacked them normally, and I still did way more damage with those normal attacks than I did with the special attack. So you can really just see how powerful this actually is. If you guys are liking this build so far, why not like the video and why not subscribe? I mean, it would really help the channel out, and well, I would appreciate it a lot. But anyway, let's continue on with the video again. So you're probably wondering how I actually got this armor. Now I actually got it from this location right here, after I defeat the Berserker gravestone site. You basically unlock these areas by putting the sword hilt into the stone grave that is just at this location, and then you'll be able to fight the boss. I would highly recommend doing all of these because, well, first of all, it's just fun, and second of all, you get so much good loot from doing all of these. And at the end, you get a really cool sword that I'm gonna show off later. Alright, now that I've explained the armor, I will be going into the build itself a little bit more. Alright, so in this build I am mainly focusing on the cooldown so I can make sure that I can pop my relics as often as I can, but I also focus on some Bifrost, allowing me to do even more damage. Now I'm probably gonna butcher saying this, but the main relic I use is the Glaive of Dodr? You can find this relic, by the way, just in the main story. You'll find it no matter what. Now the main reason I use this is because the Bifrost effect it has, which it allows you, if you fully upgrade it, to shoot 3 balls of Bifrost, and as soon as that hits the target you can deal massive damage to them when you hit them next. And then second is the low cooldown on it. To have some extra Bifrost damage as well, I have Freya equipped with the sword that does Bifrost damage and also the ability that also does Bifrost damage. To get even more Bifrost damage, I use the Seal of Runic Storm, which basically allows you to have a storm around you that continuously does Bifrost damage, meaning that you can do a lot more damage with that as well. Now this seal actually reads, using a runing attack of 3 different weapons in quick succession grants the buff of increased stagger resistance and creates a storm of Bifrost. So basically what this means is that you have to quickly swap in between your weapons and use each of their skills. Now you basically have around about 7 seconds after you activated the first skill to activate the next skill, and then it will reset again. And then you can activate the last skill and then you'll get the Bifrost Storm. Also, the Blades of Chaos roundabout have the same amount of distance as the Bifrost Storm, so I would highly recommend ending on the Blades of Chaos if possible. Now obviously this build is reliant on the relic and it allows you to do a massive burst of damage, but in order for you to do that you need to use the relic, which means you need a bit of a cooldown. Now obviously gear with cooldown is going to be really good for it, but what I would highly recommend is actually getting the Berserker Waistguard and the Berserker Gauntlet as well. Now basically what these items do is allow you to lower the cooldown for your relic by either hitting your enemies, which is a low chance of you actually getting a cooldown, but still I actually get them quite often still. Or with the Waistguard you can actually block or take damage or parry, and you'll have a moderate chance of actually getting a reduced cooldown on your relic as well. Now, obviously, with the Berserker build, I would not recommend getting hit yourself, but, you know, blocking and parrying is still a really, really good option. Now, it doesn't really matter what shield you use, but I would say use the Round of Expedition, which allows you to basically, every single time you stun someone that is using one of those blue circle attacks, you'll be able to get some cooldown back as well. So the location for the Berserker Gauntlet and the Berserker Waist is basically right here in Midgard, and right here in Niflheim. Now with the grips with the weapons, I made sure that I had a little bit of a cooldown on them, but at the same time I also actually equipped them with the 9 realms. So basically what this does, every single time that gauge fills up at the bottom left, which is basically your momentum meter, you will be able to press L1 and triangle together, and when you do that, you'll buff your weapon, and at the same time, for this one, you'll actually slow down time for a little while. Now I've equipped this on every single one of my weapons just because I don't want to accidentally have one of my weapons that doesn't do this, because I just feel like it's really, really good. I also use the emblem of the 9 realms to allow me to do extra damage while I'm slowing down time. That is basically the build, but I was just thinking I should probably explain to you guys how to quickly beat some of these bosses who are guarding these armor pieces. It's up to you guys if you want to watch this. Don't watch it if you don't want any spoilers for any of the bosses, but yeah, again, you have been warned. Oh, and after this I'll show off the sword, what you get at the end of the Berserker quest. So in order for you to get the body armor, one of the easiest ways to actually beat this one is to focus fully on the sisters first, and then you focus on the main melee guy. The reason for this is because they actually have a combined health bar, which means that if you kill one, you kill both of them. I do have to quickly say though that this guy will rush you constantly, and you know, he will not basically let you go, but those sisters are not really that great with melee range, so basically it's gonna be easy pickings if you get up close to them. Just make sure to dodge the other guy. The guy who is guarding the waist armor basically is really, really easy. He is also probably one of the lowest level ones that you can actually fight, but in order for you to beat him, basically use your abilities to stun him quite a bit, because he's easily be stunned, and at the same time just dodge his attacks when he charges forward to you like that. It's very telegraphed, it's very easy to dodge. Now the guy that you actually get your wristbands from is very, very strong, but also every single time you attack him when he has this purple aura around him, it actually puts Bifrost on you, and you can actually build this up ridiculously much. The first time I actually fought this guy, I had no idea he was doing this, and then all of a sudden he hit me for so much damage. If you want to get rid of the Bifrost effect, there's two things you can do. You can either smash one of those green gemstones that are usually on the floor somewhere, or you can actually use Kratos' rage form in order for you to neglect all of the Bifrost. Alright, those are some quick tips for the bosses, so you know, it'll be hopefully a lot easier for you guys to actually take care of them. But anyway, I'm quickly going to show you guys off the sword you get at the end of these missions. It is really, really cool. Now, basically what these swords do is basically they go around and act like your companions and basically decimate the entire battlefield for you. It's really, really cool, but I have realized this is very strong against multiple enemies. But against bosses, it's okay, it's not the greatest. I would still probably use my build that I actually made. But I just quickly wanted to show this off because these swords are bloody cool. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, why not leave a like, why not subscribe, do all of that kind of stuff. And well, I'll catch you guys all later. Bye!